这里是明影之声，你的人生不用太忙，你只管躺着听，全宇宙的戏我帮你播。想象有个人说他活了14000年，看过史前文明，见证耶稣被钉十字架，甚至和梵高做朋友，你信吗？今天不谈爆破，不谈特效，只谈一个停留在屋内89分钟的科幻的骂中。
Until he died.
Well, perhaps somebody had to be, for better or for worse. The jury is still out.
想象一下，有人说他从旧石器时代一路活到现在，这故事听起来像科幻笑话，但张岸就这么说了。朋友们立刻跳出来质疑：“你这么久没老，该不会是外星人吧？”张岸反倒幽默回：“他是幸运儿。”故事就从这里开始，带你走进一场思想的旅程。
Seriously, as Art's book title suggests, he might be like any of us.
Dan, a caveman?
Well, there's no anatomical difference between, say, a Cro-Magnon and us.
Except that as a rule, we've grown taller.
What's the selective advantage of height?
Better to see predators in tall grass, my dear.
Naturally, tall and skinny radiates heat more effectively in warmer climates.
Yeah, and as for Neanderthals, I mean, we've all seen apish people. I mean, that strain's still with us.
But he'd be a caveman.
No, he wouldn't. John's hypothetical man would have lived through 140 centuries.
Yeah, roughly.
And changed if every one of them. I mean, assuming normal intelligence. Well, we think men of the upper Paleolithic were as intelligent as we are. They just didn't know as much. John's man would have learned as a race learned. In fact, if he had an inquiring mind, his knowledge might be astonishing. If you do write that, let me have a look at it. I'm sure you'll make some anthropological boners. It's a deal.
What would keep him alive?
What does the biologist say?
Cigarettes. And ice cream. All right, I'll play. All right, in science fiction terms, I would say perfect regeneration of the body's cells, especially in the vital organs. Actually, the human body appears designed to live about 190 years. Most of us just die of slow poisoning.
Maybe he did something right, something everybody else in history done wrong.
What, like eat the food, drink the water, and breathe the air?
And prior to modern times, those were pristine. We've extended our lifespan in a world that's not fit to live in.
You know what could happen? Yeah, the pancreas turns over cells every 24 hours, the stomach lining in 3 days, the entire body in 7 years, but the process falters. Waste accumulates, eventually proves fatal to function. Now, if a quirk in his immune system led to perfect detox, perfect renewal, then yeah, he could duck decay.
That's a secret we'd all love to have.
Would you really want to do that? Live 14,000 years?
Well, if I could stay healthy and I didn't age, I mean, why not?
Yeah. What a chance to learn.
Is anyone hungry?
Yeah.
Hey, you know, the more I think about it, yeah, it's possible. Anything is possible, right? After all, one century's magic, another century's science. They thought Columbus...
Before that, I had a chance to sail with Columbus, only I'm not the adventurous type. What? I was pretty sure the Earth was round, but at that point, I still thought he might fall off an edge someplace.
Look around, John. We just did.
I suppose there's a joke in there somewhere, but I don't get it.
It's nothing to get.
Well, what are we talking about?
We were just talking about a caveman who survives until the present time.
As you said, what a chance to learn once I learned to learn.
Did you start the whiskey before we got here?
永生听起来像天赐恩典，这样说那根本是长期通缉，他得10年搬一次家，因为大家一发现他不老，邻居开始报警。这份孤独不像电影里的英雄酷炫，倒像是无尽的逃亡。没错，永生有时候就是活得太久的代价。
That's very good. That's very quick, John. I want to read that story when you're done.
You want more?
Oh, yeah, by all means. This is great. All right, now, so you think that you are a Cro-Magnon?
Well, I didn't learn it in school. It's my best guess, based on archaeological data, maps, anthropological research. Since Mesopotamia, I've got the last 4,000 years straight.
Well, you're ahead of most people, so please go on.
Well, you know the background stuff, so I'll make it brief. What I call my first lifetime, I aged to about 35. What you see, I ended up leading my group. They saw me as magical. I didn't even have to fight for it. Then fear came, and they chased me away. And they thought that I was stealing their lives away to stay young.
The prehistoric origin of the vampire myth, that is good.
First 1,000 years, I didn't know up from sight, based on what I've learned in my memories.
Most people can scarcely remember their childhood, but you have memories of that time.
Like yours, selected. You know, the high points, the low points, traumas, they stick in the mind forever. Put down at 3 or 35, you still feel the twinge.
Go on.
I kept getting chased because I wouldn't die. So I got the hang of joining new groups I found. I also got the idea of periodically moving on. It was semi-nomadic, of course, following the weather and the game we hunted. The first 2,000 years were cold. We learned it was warmer at lower elevations. Late glacial period, I assume.
What was the terrain like?
Mountainous. Vast plains to the west.
Wes, that's something you learned in school.
Towards the setting sun. I suspect I saw the British Isles from what is now the French coast. Huge mountains on the other side of an enormous deep.
当他说出我活了14000年，你会想他是不是在说笑？但这案不光是说，他细数自己在人类历史中的匆匆过客身影，文明兴起，战争硝烟，艺术与宗教，像是穿梭在影子间的幽灵。这种孤独不是我很特别，而是没有人能陪你真正走完这条路。
Under Hammurabi, great man. And I sailed as a Phoenician for a time. See, moving on had been easier as a hunter-gatherer. Difficult when villages emerged. Tougher still in city-states where authority was centralized. Strangers were suspect. It seemed as though I was always moving on. I learned some new tricks. Even faked my death a couple of times. I continued east. Buddha.
Luckily.
Most extraordinary man I've ever known. He taught me things I'd never thought about before.
You studied with the Buddha?
Until he died. He knew there was something different about me. I never told him.
This is fascinating. I almost wish it were true.
Yeah, if it was true, why are you telling us? I mean, we might leave here today, we'll go out there, tell everybody.
It would vanish in disbelief. A story that goes around the room. No credibility. Even if I could make you believe me, in a month you wouldn't. Some of you would call me a psychopath, others would be angry at a pointless joke.
Well, John, some of us are angry now.
This was a bad idea. I love you all, and I do not want to put you through any change.
电影真正炸裂的时刻来了，战低声朗诵一段古老圣经，字字铿锵。接着，房间里有人惊呼：“他说他就是基督。”这不是神话，而是活生生的冲击现实。你可以选择相信，也可以选择否认，但故事已经深入你的骨髓。
Why not pass the Buddha's teachings on in a modern form? So he tried. One dissident against Rome. Rome won. The rest is history. Well, sort of. A lot of fairy tales mixed in.
I knew it. He's saying he was Christ.
Oh no, that's the medal they pinned on Jesus to fulfill prophecy.
The crucifixion.
He blocked the pain, as he had learned to do in Tibet and India. He also learned to slow his body processes down to the point where they were undetectable. They thought he was dead, so his followers pulled him from the cross, placed him in a cave. His body normalized as he had trained it to. He attempted to go away undetected, but some devotees were standing watch. Tried to explain. They were ecstatic. Thus I was resurrected, and I ascended to Central Europe to get away as far as possible.
You don't mean a word of this, John. My God, why are you doing this?
Let me see your wrists.
I don't scar. Besides, they tied me, but nails and blood make better religious art.
All the speculations about Jesus. He was black, he was Asian, he was a blue-eyed Aryan with a golden beard and hair straight out of an Al Sassoon's. He was a benevolent alien. He never existed at all. Now he's a caveman.
The Christ figure goes all the way back to Krishna. Hercules, of course.
Hercules?
Born of a virgin, Alcmene. A god for a father, Zeus. The only begotten. Savior, the Greek, Soter. The good shepherd, the Prince of Peace, bringing gentle persuasion and divine wisdom. He died, joined his...
当你活得比任何人都久，会不会觉得孤单？这案是肯定的。我有情绪崩溃，问他会不会想念家人，觉得这对我们这些活得短的人太不公平。这问题直击人性，时间是公平的吗？流逝的爱与记忆该怎么面对？没答案，只有心底那抹挣扎和矛盾。
Biggest bigamist.
Have you ever in your life thought it should have been me?
Maybe.
Your art has told me that some of your early fellows feared you were stealing their lives. Have you thought that perhaps you were? Perhaps you are. There have always been legends of such a thing, a creature, not quite human, taking not the blood, but the life force itself.
My God, Will.
Unconsciously, perhaps, by some biological or psychic mechanism that we can only guess at. I'm not saying you would do such a thing deliberately. I'm not saying that you would even know how to. Would you? But would such a thing be fair?
So you believe me then?
I'm only exploring what you have said. Whether I believe it or not is of no importance. We will die. You will live. Will you come to my funeral, John?
Hey, Will.
You've gone too far. John didn't ask to be what he is.
And we did not ask to hear about it. But if it were true, is there one among us who would not feel envy? Even perhaps a touch of hatred? You told us of yourself, John. Can you imagine how we feel?
I never thought of that.
Since you may not die, while we most assuredly will, there must be a reason for that, no?
最后，今天发现，这案不只是个孤独的隐身者，它竟然跟沃的家人有关。女主角的提问就像一道闪电劈开迷幻，沃的身体扛不住，倒下了。呼救声中，我们留下无限悬念。究竟是诅咒还是祝福？
John Thomas Partee. John Tea Party, Boston Tea Party.
I get it.
Yeah, I know.
Wait. But Boston? 60 years ago? John Partee? You did not teach chemistry. I do not believe you!
Your mother's name was Nova.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yes. Nola. My mother. I reject this. My dog's name. We had him before I was born.
Wolfie.
Wolfie.
Gruber, she remarried?
She said you abandoned us.
Sorry, I had to move on. You know that. I left enough.
Cold.
Chilly Willy, always cold. Never could stand the cold.
Wait, you had a beard.
Yeah, you used to tell her to see if it was real.
Will?
God. 911 now! Willie. Come on, Will. Will. Come on.
如果时间真的无限，我们还会记得自己是谁吗？这案活了14000年，看过历史，也失去了数不清的名字或人。而我们，短暂的活个几十年，却总怕时间不够，怕失去，怕老去。或许，不是时间塑造了人，而是人对时间的回望，定义了我们的存在。这部电影没有爆破，没有飞车，却像一场夜里的谈话，把我们拉进了生命最深的提问里。